Hello and welcome back. In the last episode we made it halfway to the town and we made it halfway through a story, and in this episode we're going to finish one of those things because I have decided this is going to be a grindy episode because I feel just a little bit underleveled. So we're going to grind a little bit, just a tad, and then we're going to go and do that cave, which apparently is dangerous and terrifying and scary. So, like I said last time, I got just long enough into that story to get all the boring bits out of the way, so you don't have to deal with them anymore, so hooray! It's so efficient. But yeah, so I was basically talking about my job in Waterford, and I ended up as a tour guide for a little while. Not paid, of course, because God forbid you pay your interns. But again, I love the museum. Fantastic place. Great fun there. And no one pays interns. Not really a good reason to boycott somewhere. If you boycotted everywhere that didn't pay interns, you'd starve to death. But yeah, basically, I just wanted to... Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, if I had €1 for every time I got to like 1 HP left in a Pokemon, I could bribe the Elite Four to give me the championship tournament. But anyway, yeah, so when I was going there, I was a tour guide, and they gave me an induction. I don't know why. I don't know if it was to be like, oh, maybe he can work here. I think it was more to make sure that I wasn't lying to the people who ended up going to the museum and getting me as a tour guide, which is completely fair. I'd have done the same thing if I was looking like a 24-year-old student trying to give tour guides. So they gave me an induction. However, the thing is, they gave me an induction after I had already done 2 tours to people. So this was less of a precautionary induction and more of a oh fuck, I hope we didn't just make a neo-Nazi into a tour guide in our museum, which I'm not. I don't preface by saying I was completely respectful and I knew all of my stuff when I was there. But even though I knew my stuff, and I knew my stuff well, they did this thing where I went in and my placement started at 9 o'clock in the morning, sorry. I would go in, and another tour guide was there waiting for me, and she goes, "Hey Ocean, how you doing?" And I was like, "Hi, it's good to see you." And she had a tour guide at 10, and she was like, "By the way, before I get my tour started..." Oh, look at this thing! Tancoon! Have we seen one of these? Probably. I haven't been paying attention at all. I kind of like it. It's cute. I'd take one if you wanted to give one to me. I do wonder what type it is, though. Hopefully it's weak to dark types. I mean, everything's weak to... Oh, it's not weak to dark types at all. That's terrible. I don't like you anymore. But, yeah, so I'm going to just focus on this battle, just in case something exactly like that happens. I will say, I've been, like... It's impossible to get lucky with critical hits, but I've gotten lucky in the fact that the only crits that have hit me have been the crits that, didn't kill me. They nearly killed me. I got 2 HP twice in the last episode, so... That was scary. It's been a scary few episodes. But anyway, yeah, so I went into the museum at about 10 o'clock. A normal day, it was like a Wednesday, so it was a very inconspicuous day. And I headed in, and she was like, "Hey, would you mind just doing one thing? I have a tour at 10. Would you mind taking it, and I go along with you to see how you get on and see how you do with this?" And because I loved giving tours, you know, even though I wasn't being paid for it, I still had a great time and great fun doing them. So I was like, yeah, sure. Also, I'm going to go back to the Pokemon Center. A, because my Pokemon are weak. Actually, no, I'll just... Yeah, I will. Fuck it. But B, because I also want to finish the story and not get distracted by new Pokemon again. Or, worse, getting distracted by myself. So I ended up going in. It was a smaller tour. Maybe about 10 people were on this one. Like, apparently 10 o'clock isn't a prime tour giving time. So I went in, and the thing about this is... as happy as I was to do this, I didn't know it was happening. And it was really scary because all of a sudden they were treating me like an actual professional tour guide. And I was like, fuck, what is this? Did I do something wrong? Am I doing something right? Do they want to hire me? So I went in and I literally had like 2 minutes to prepare. And they took me downstairs to like the crypt, which again is where the museum was. Oh, made things even more stressful. And we went downstairs and I started giving the tour. And I was like, this is the... this museum is based off of an original monastery that was built by monks in the medieval period, and the top was built of wood, but it burned down. And I was saying and stuttering just as much then as I am now. And I was like, yeah, the top floor burned down, but the bottom floor, where everyone ate and had good times, they survived because it was made of stone. And then I was like, and now moving on, because I don't really care about the crypt. I care about the interesting manuscripts up at the top. But then the person who was inducting me stopped me and was like, yes, Oisin, and have you forgotten something? And I was like, oh fuck. That very rarely means, no, you haven't forgotten something. That usually means you've forgotten something, and I had to fucking think in the spot and be like, oh fuck, what am I not remembering? What part of history, what part of the 1,000 years of this place being opened have I forgotten about? And I was like, oh, the wine cellar! And she was like, yes, very good, the wine cellar. It might have been the most unprofessional tour guide, tour giving that had ever been done in the history of mankind. But, I don't know, in my defense, I was very scared. Which is a very terrible defense to have in the first place. But, so yeah, I gave on. And the rest of the tour, I think, went quite well. But they never hired me on, so it probably didn't go as well as I thought it was. But they did that, and I remember thinking to myself, well, shite, that's a bad sign. But still, even then, you know, I was up against some really, really high-class tour guides to begin with. They had really high standards in that place, and even to this day, I still think to myself, I mean, it's only been about a few months since this story happened, but I still think to myself, yeah, first of all, I don't live in Waterford, and they probably wouldn't have paid me enough to get a house in Waterford, but I still think to myself that I don't think I was ready for that job. I think, you know, with a bit of practice I could, but you shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't really get practice while you're on the job. They always say you learn while you're on the job. You really shouldn't. You know, here's the thing about getting employment and getting jobs is you're going to lie on your CV. I don't, of course, you know, I don't do any of this. But you're gonna kind of, you're gonna embellish yourself a little bit, especially when you go into an interview and people are like, oh, what are your weaknesses? And you're like, oh, I work too hard. I work too hard and I'm too handsome. You know, those... But the other things that you run into are like, you just can't really be prepared for the work environment before you work in that environment, and that's just a matter of fact thing, and that's why experience is so important. And a lot of people are like, oh, I hate how you need, you know, 2 years experience to get an entry-level job nowadays. And God, that does suck. It really, really does. And it's terrible for like people trying to break into getting careers. It just comes down to the fact that you need the most efficient thing for your business. And oh dear, oh God, speaking of efficiency, get this fucking snake the fuck out of here. But I feel like I'm at a job interview right now. Because like I always say to myself, you know, YouTube's a hobby. Don't say anything incriminating against yourself that will, you know, just in case, I don't know, the director of the Museum of Waterford is watching this and he's like, this bastard, dude. What was he doing in my museum? So I'm always kind of on my best behaviour. And the other thing, because like when we were recording the Wargrove videos, I realised I don't know, when you're talking and doing videos with other people, you can be a lot more open in the things that you say. Not to say I'm, you know, putting on a face when I record this, but I'm saying that I'm a lot more likely to go into like the political views of a nationalistic ideology in a dual Let's Play than I am by myself. I don't know. Ironically, I think my brain works a lot better when there's no one around to watch it work. You know? Also, I'm gonna just like not risk good time here. I know that I could probably run from this, and that's what I'm gonna do anyway. But I don't know. I'm scared. Okay. But yeah. So like when I'm doing a video by myself, I'm always like, you know, it'll be fine. I'll do grand. But then when I record with someone else, I'm always like, hey, what do you feel about like? How do you feel about Hitler? Which is probably the worst. I cannot think of a worse. How do you feel about? I can't think of a worse 6-word sentence to say in a YouTube video. And that's what you come here for exciting insights into what not to say in YouTube videos. But yeah, what was I talking about? I don't fucking know. I'm on like 8 tangents right now. Hey bro, how many layers of tangent are you on right now? But anyway, yeah, I do want to say that because I don't know because I don't know when these are going up. Probably today because I've got a massive like, I've got like 2 days that I haven't uploaded the video and I need to shove as many out as I can in the next 2 days. So the upload date of this video is probably like today. But Valentine's Day is coming up, and the thing about Valentine's Day is so many people hate it. Loads of people hate Valentine's Day, and you know what? I get that. It's a stupid holiday. It's like every other holiday is based off of happiness. like Christmas, it's a time for celebrating and, you know, like, giving feasts and having merriments with your families, and that's great. And, you know, like, everyone can enjoy bits of Christmas, even if you don't, like, celebrate it necessarily. You can see a bunch of fucking lights going up and being like, oh dear, that's... Sorry, ignore that, my phone's going up. But no, everyone can look at lights and be like, hey, that's cool, I like these lights. Everyone can look at a fucking Easter and be like, oh, they're selling cheap fucking chocolates, I can get down with this. No one, like, only about, like, I don't know, like a fraction of the population can look at Valentine's Day and be like, oh, great, I get to celebrate my... I get to celebrate my 20-year-old marriage, or I get to celebrate everyone else having a relationship. It's a mean-spirited holiday that I don't really understand. But I do celebrate it, and the thing about that is, I celebrate it, but I celebrate it in my own way, and what that means is I kind of take, well, I mean, it's not really true, I celebrate it the way everyone else does, or, you know, meet up with George, and we had this kind of because February is kind of the month of celebrating this type of thing, and she came over last week to just have a little pre-Valentine's Day ensemble, and we had a great time, and she came over, I cooked a meal, and I like cooking. I think it's fun. I'm not like by any means like a world-class cook, but there are a few recipes like I watch YouTubers cook a lot, like Chef John. I think he is a really good YouTuber. Also, you are super effective against me in every single way. So switch into ton of you. So yeah, I was watching. I watched people like Chef John, and I always said to myself, "That looks fucking easy. I can do that." And then I do it, and a lot of the time it comes out well. Other times it doesn't. And the time it didn't come out well is, like usual, when I was trying to show off in front of Georgina. So I went to cook this thing. I was cooking this delicious, lovely hash brown recipe where you, it's on Chef John's website. I don't want to run through them. It's not fucking food channel. Look up Chef John's food wishes video on hash browns. It's really, really great. Very, very simple, and it's literally one ingredient. I add a bit of, I add spices here and there, just kind of, you know, literally to spice it up. But I was cooking it, and it's just to give a brief outline of what you do and where it went wrong for me is the only thing you need to do when you're making these hash browns is shred up potatoes, rinse them out, and then fry them. That's it, and then add spices to taste. That's all you have to do. And I fucked this up because George was in the kitchen while I was making it, and I was just making idle chat. And I had one potato on to fry, and I was cutting another one up for myself while George's was on the stove. And she was like, you have it on high heat, is that okay? And I was like, yeah, that's the way I like to do them. It makes the outside crispier and the inside softer. And she was like, hey, oh, great, yeah, that sounds good. And about like a minute passed, and she was like, there's a lot of smoke coming out of your potato. And I was like, no, it's fine. It's just because it's on such a high heat. And the second I said that, my stove caught fire. And I was like, this is exactly the scene from The Simpsons. We just reenacted the steamed hams thing. I was like, oh no, my potatoes are just steaming. And it catches fire in front of her. And she was like, why is there fire coming out of your stove? And I was like, it's meant to do that, okay? You don't know. Go watch Chef John. George, if you're watching this, don't go watch Chef John. I don't want you knowing what life could be like. That's terrible. But yeah, I ended up doing that. Also, that wasn't even the worst thing that happened to me that weekend. Oh my god, I was just before we sat down to record the Warframe video, I wanted to I got a comment by Sleepy Slowbro. And Sleepy Slowbro, if you're watching this, I want you to know how you nearly got me killed. Because Sleepy Slowbro left a comment on my video. And he was like, I remember exactly what the comment said. It's like engraved in my brain. But he was like, that was a great video. I think you called me like Zeldox7. You made some really powerful words at the end there. And I was like, oh, George, look at this. Someone left a really nice video on my, comment on my video. And she was like, oh, really? What did he say? And I was like, oh, he said, I left some profound words at the end of my video. And she was like, oh, what did you say? And I was like, I don't remember. I uploaded this video about 2 days ago. I can't remember what I said. And I was like, oh, come on, let's skip. So I skipped to about 21 minutes and 10 seconds into the video. And I know that again because it's engraved in my brain. And I remember... And the video played, it lagged for a bit, and it played, and the first thing George ever heard of my Let's Play of Pokemon Uranium was me saying, be careful loving things. And in context, what that was I was talking about like jobs and stuff like that, and how when you start doing something for long enough, the job can kind of feel arduous and get tough to do. That's what I meant. But I was like, and I was saying that trying to make sure that jobs don't become like work to you, because that's really possible of happening. But I just, the 1 minute of that video that incriminates me, and Sleepy Slow Bro, why would you do that? So yeah, that got me in trouble. And I was like, please, just watch. I know I wouldn't have said anything terrible. I just watched another like 5 seconds of the video to find out what I'm talking about, please. And she did. And I think she forgave me. I don't know. If any psychologists are watching this, don't look too deeply into the first episode of Warcraft. Her true feeling. No, honestly, she wasn't mad at all. She laughed a lot. Because, I don't know, it was a comedy of errors, as dating me often is. But, so thank you, Sleepy Slow Bro, for that story, to come out of that. And, yeah, it was a good time though, but, I don't know, I just kind of feel like Valentine's Day as a whole is, a bit of a spiteful holiday, you know? Definitely not my favourite one. Also, fuck you, I am swapping out Pokemon. I don't know, it's not really my favourite one. Although, How to Train Your Dragon is coming out around Valentine's Day, so it can't be that bad, you know? We got something from it. I don't know. It just, I don't know how I feel about it. It's certainly something I like the idea of. I don't know, but, there was, I'm so sorry to just go on about Valentine's Day, because I know it's like a kind of it's like, whenever you watch like a comedy skit, they always have 3 routines they do. It's always, you know, having sex, politics, and what's the third one? What's the third thing you always hear politicians talk? Oh, drivers. They always have a routine on drivers. I think I don't know, I could be misquoting, but I don't know, I always feel like those two. But, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, but I just have one more story that I wanted to tell, because, I got to, when I was doing shopping, for Valentine's Day, I had to, because George had just gotten a commission, and I wanted to, like, this is about like a month ago from now, so like mid-January, and I got like a well done card, congratulations Ken, just like a small gift, like maybe like a bar of chocolate, and just like a card saying well done. But the thing is, around that time, the only cards you had in the shops that would like thank you to that person in my life are Valentine's Day cards. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just buy a Valentine's Day card. I'll buy 2 Valentine's Day cards and just scribble out the word Valentine's Day on one of them. And I went up to the till, and the woman behind the counter gave me the most dirty look I had ever seen in my entire life. And I was like, what the fuck was that about? What did I do? And then I realised on the way home, I was walking home, and about 5 minutes later, I was like, oh my god, I just went up and bought 2 Valentine's Day cards in the same day. And she probably doesn't think that they're for the same person. So, I mean, fair play to that person for, like, I don't know, standing to her moral convictions to someone just trying to do a Valentine's Day thing. But I remember walking home and being like, that person probably thinks I'm the biggest gobshite in the entire universe. So anyway, with this special, I don't know, holiday special episode of me playing this, we're going to call it here. So thank you very much for watching. And the next episode, I think we're done grinding. So we're going to try and make a bit more progress in that direction. So thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you again.